NBC News can project that Zorhan Mamdani will be the next mayor of New York City. He is not, despite popular impression, will not be the youngest man ever elected governor of New York. There have been some younger than him, but this is a very big deal, and this will have, even though New York is sui generis, New York is its own thing, this will have political shockwaves around the country for the Democratic Party and for the way the Republican Party likes to talk about the Democratic Party.
So it's official. New Yorkers have voted in the first openly socialist communist mayor in American history. The 33-year-old failed rapper is now set to be in charge of the financial capital of America, arguably the most important city in the Western Hemisphere, if not the world. What does that mean for New Yorkers, the United States, and the state of the Democratic Party as a whole? All that and more. Let's get into it.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmat Allah, all passengers. You are currently on the J train. Inshallah, we'll be at the next stop in 7 minutes. Alhamdulillah. Have a good day, and remember, Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
So now that Zorhan is officially the mayoral elect, remember all the free buses, the free childcare, and the, basically rolling homeless encampments that he plans on creating for everybody? Well, you can have all that, don't worry. But first, he needs you to pay for stuff. Check this out.
On January 1st, I will be your mayor. New Year's Day and a new era for this city. Oh, and one more thing. Remember how I told you a few months ago to stop sending us money? You can start again. This transition requires staff, research, and an infrastructure that can meet this moment. And it will be made possible by the people who built and believe in this movement. So I hope you'll make a donation at transition2025.com. Now let's get to work.
So basically, you remember all those things I said were going to be so great and so free? Well, it turns out they're going to be so not free, and they're going to cost money. Buses don't run on fairy dust. But it's going to be a little hard to pay for all those things when you are driving out the top 1% in the most expensive city in America to run and live in. Approximately 760,000 New Yorkers are planning on fleeing the city after the election results.
The top 1% in New York City contributes around half of the personal income taxes. And they just elected someone who is openly hostile towards that 1%, basically ran a whole campaign on being hostile towards that 1%. So all of these super far left-wingers that vastly overestimate their contribution to New York City, they think they carry the city on their shoulders, they're going to find out what that city looks like when you scare away that top 1%, when you scare away roughly half of your personal income tax revenue. You're going to find out what a city looks like when it does defund the police because they don't have the funds to even fund them if they wanted to. You're going to find out what it looks like when street cleaning is underfunded. You're going to find out what it looks like when buses are free and they basically become 24/7 homeless shelters. You're going to find out what all of your delusional policies look like when you scare away the very people that you resent, those top 1%ers that you see as these supervillains, when actually without them, the city falls apart.
Yeah, and again, it's just a fairy tale because money doesn't grow on trees. Things don't run for free. I can't express this enough. What you will end up with is an incompetent 33-year-old who has no idea how to run that city. And he will run it straight into the ground while it runs out the only people who fund the necessary services. And speaking of necessary services, here's a video of the NYPD showing up to a woman being assaulted earlier today on the subway.
I got his information. Well, I got a witness, and I let him leave. I don't realize that you guys were. I was walking the guy up the steps. So I gave you the steps. Maybe the bird gave you the middle finger. See that? Oh, well, she just took the bird and gave me the middle finger. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to run so much smoother once social workers are the ones showing up to those calls instead. But then again, you still have to pay them. So there's that. But while many New Yorkers are currently happy with their vote, there's plenty that aren't quite as happy.
The city's in for a really tough time. We have a big office here ourselves, and I mean, we'll see how this works, but the team in New York is for the first time saying maybe we should leave.
And I asked him if he had contributed to the Cuomo campaign. He said no. I asked if he had spoken with Mamdani before the election. He also said no, but he said he does expect to see both people and businesses leave New York City.
New York will survive. It survived de Blasio, but it's a shame it's probably going to get a lot worse before it gets better. And that's coming from a business perspective. You know, I am a greater New York area person. This is an amazing city with a great vitality and great youth and energy, but the core issues are not what he's focusing on. We need to increase housing. That's not going to happen easily, right? You need serious subsidies from the government. If they want us to work with unions, you know, the unions have to be more accommodative on their work laws and the wages and everything else. Otherwise, you can't add economically.
And I know what many of you are thinking, well, that's just the top 1%. That's just the billionaires who need to pay their fair share anyway. And while that may be true, the billionaires, the major corporations, they're the ones that can pack up and leave. They can go to Florida. They can go to Texas. They can go to Tennessee. It's the locals, the mom and pop stores, the ones who can't pick up and leave. Those are the ones who are mainly going to suffer. And let's hear from some of those local business owners on what their thoughts are following this election.
He win, by the way?
He won.
They chose the knucklehead, so we're gonna pay for it.
What happens if he opens up the government-run grocery stores?
I'm not with it.
Oh, you don't like the government-run grocery stores?
No.
$30 minimum wage. Can you explain how that might affect businesses?
I'm going to hell. It's be over.
How are they going to make payroll? It's just about all the policy that he tried to do, increasing the workers and the taxes. It's not good.
The minimum wage doesn't help the worker. It just helps the system. Pay more money, more taxes, prices go up.
Overnight, half of them will go out of business.
So I'm in a blue state. I'm sorry, but I've been red my whole life. Democrats always ruin, steal, rob, and lie.
Any thoughts on having him for 4 years?
What I can do is just swallow and try to face it, but it's not easy. We're cooked. We're on the way to becoming a communist state.
The city's in trouble. They're in trouble.
Good luck.
And those are the people I feel sorry for. Those are the ones who are going to get hit the hardest by this. It's the local guy that you see every day that you get fresh bread from. It's the lady who cuts your hair. It's the local convenience store owner that you stop by and say hi to every morning. Those are the ones who are going to suffer the most. And while many out there are busy dancing in the streets or celebrating their almost certain demise, others are busy packing.
Some New Yorkers are thinking of packing up and getting out already. They call it the Mamdani migration. The New York Post is reporting that real estate agents are getting flooded with phone calls. Luxury real estate agent Ryan Serhant told the Post that his number one job will be moving people from New York to Florida again. And based on the results, clients are going to hold off on making any kind of investment in New York City. Lydia Moynihan knows all about this. She's a financial correspondent at the Post and broke this story. Lydia, I had a bunch of my friends over the weekend when they saw this coming saying, oh my goodness, I wish I sold last year. This is a nightmare. How could this be happening? So is this Mamdani migration a real thing?
I think it is, and I hate to say that. Look, what's not surprising is it in the wake of him clinching that Democratic nomination that wealthy people, really anyone with sort of a vested interest in the city, was exploring options of where they could move. Florida, of course, is a well-trodden path at this point. But what's much more concerning is the fact that people are actually walking away from deals. So people who were either in process of signing and purchasing an apartment or, potentially buying something in the future, they're walking away. And so for the next 4 months, I think we're going to see a decrease in the investment in New York City. Anyone with a business is going to be a little hesitant. And of course, that's going to be amplified for 4 years if Mamdani is elected. And of course, Laura, the irony is that these are the very people who he needs to be paying for all of these programs. And the things he's outlined sound like Doge cuts, right? Money, millions of dollars to transgender surgeries for minors. And there's really no way that he can do that if, as I think people will, they're going to pack up and leave.
I mean, who would have thought? A campaign ran on defunding the police, decriminalizing violent crime, and raising taxes for everybody actually succeeded in scaring the hell out of normal people, sane people. But those weren't his voter base. They were either the highly uninformed or the highly radicalized. Let's check out video from the average Zorhan Mamdani voter.
Sharia law starts now.
father in Islam. Islamic Caliphate of New York starts today, baby.
God, there is just something so electric, so satisfying about knowing that my MAGA parents, wherever they are probably having a horrible night tonight. Oh, I literally just got goosebumps thinking about it. Like they are in such a bad mood probably about the fact that Zorhan just won and Prop 50 is gonna pass. Like, wow. God, I'm sorry. It just makes me feel good that my MAGA parents are probably upset right now.
When the day starts with Dick Cheney being dead, it ends with Mamdani winning. Oh, yes. Oh. I'm so happy. Oh my God, I'm so happy. So happy.
Yep. That's your average lib voter right there. Uninformed and radical as hell. They never disappoint, do they? But let's hear from some more.
Port Zoran.
Yeah, he seems cool.
What makes him ready to be New York's mayor?
He sounds like he's like a Power Rangers character. So
I mean, is anybody really ever ready to be mayor?
What makes Mamdani qualified to be mayor?
I don't think at this point it's necessarily a question of who's qualified.
Obama had very little experience and Obama did very well.
He's just a really likable guy.
What makes him ready to be mayor?
I don't know.
Why is he ready? I feel like he's like answering.
It never really takes like the most experience.
I don't know what it takes to be a mayor, so how can I really say if somebody else is qualified?
Yeah, experience.
Mamdani?
Yeah.
He's been a rapper. He's about to run a $115 million budget tomorrow.
Wow. You are cooked, New York. Best of luck. And I mean that. But wow. Yikes. And while it may appear that Zorhan soared to victory with his overwhelming social media presence, less than desirable competition, and promise of free everything, it turns out he may have had just a little extra help.
This is Michael Casey, correspondent with O'Keefe Media Group, reporting from New York City just before Halloween. And the only thing scarier than all the ghosts and the goblins and this rain this Halloween is a possibility of illegal aliens voting in our elections for mayor. Just last year, James O'Keefe encountered a man in New York City who ran a church called La Jornada in Queens.
Hey, this is you.
Now, Mr. Rodriguez was allowing illegal aliens to sign false documents to help them live in this country illegally and bypass the law.
What I found most odd is that Pedro Rodriguez would keep telling me that I did not reside at an address that he personally signed the letter saying that I resided at.
I encountered this man once again 1 year later. Same name, different address, same blue shirt, same tie. I encountered this man posing as an illegal alien, telling him I was new to this country. I just got here a couple months ago. I was not registered to vote, not a citizen, but I wanted to vote in this year's election. And what does he do? Like clockwork, he springs into action to help me.
Yes, I'm an immigrant. They sent me here to vote. I was recommended to come here to find information to vote. I was given those locations. I will show you. Forgive me, I am no Espanol. English perfectly. Thank you, sir. What's your name, sir?
Pedro Rodriguez.
Pedro.
A pleasure. Yeah.
Miguel.
You registered?
Sorry?
When did you register to vote?
I did not. I didn't sign anything. They just told me to come here to vote.
Okay.
And he tells me to go to a local community college just around the corner to go vote in the election for mayor.
That's close, right?
Just across the street.
Across the street?
Yeah.
Thank you. And so I can go there and cast my vote for mayor?
Yeah.
And I told him, still posing as legal alien, who should I vote for? He gave me a wink and a nod. He told me, vote for the man whose name begins with the letter M.
Well, it's 3 guys. Okay, I really can tell you, vote to, okay, but, they got the M.
Now, which candidate and for mayor has the letter M in the beginning of his name? Is it Curtis Sliwa? No. Is it Andrew Cuomo? No. Is it Zorhan Mamdani? Most likely. The same candidate who's running on a platform of aiding illegal aliens and giving them assistance to bypass ICE and avoid deportation. It's no coincidence that this so-called pastor who just last year was caught by James O'Keefe is now telling illegal aliens not only vote in this election, but vote for the candidate for mayor who's trying to help illegal aliens.
And this is why, if I was a citizen of New York, California, Illinois, Minnesota, Massachusetts, anywhere that has a heavy immigrant population and considers itself a sanctuary city or state, I would be getting the hell out. It's no secret that these cities and states have been pumping in a constant flow of illegal migrants over the years to basically create a permanent voter base, all while suppressing and driving out the naturalized citizens' votes. This coming from the party that does nothing but scream about preserving democracy and upholding the Constitution, all while ushering in their own form of communism. But it didn't stop there. Check out this man's reaction when James O'Keefe and crew go to confront the organization face to face.
These two had questions as well.
Yeah. I remember me.
You are a bunch of thieves and criminals and liars. You are unbelievable.
Snapping fake addresses. I'm the guy that I met with you, right? You had all these fake documents right here? Yeah? Yeah, that's me. I'm James O'Keefe.
Okay, I don't
You just told him to vote for Mamdani.
No.
You said vote for the guy with the M. That's what you said.
Vote to, okay, but you know, the guy can sell for him. How many people how many judges have been in there?
You just told him to vote
For mayor.
He's not a legal citizen.
Hello. Do I have the control when he has to vote?
Yeah, but you gave him advice.
No. What is the word?
Just like you told me to stamp fake name.
But you just mentioned one word, right? What you said?
Yeah, what did he tell you? What did he tell
I said that I was not registered, and they said, who should I vote for mayor? And he said, vote for the mayor with the M. Sorry?
When did you register to vote?
I did not. I didn't sign anything. They just told me to come here to vote.
Okay.
I said yes, I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, what you said?
I said it so.
Camera.
Yeah.
Just like the scheme with the documents from last year, remember?
Okay, you remember?
I steal
No.
children.
How many
I
people
steal
registered?
children. I
Hello,
steal
hello,
children.
hello.
We're investigative reporters.
How
am I stealing children?
Why?
Yes.
I don't know. Sir, first of all, you are entering here illegally.
How am I entering here illegally?
Because what is that?
Do you want me to go?
Yes.
Okay, I leave. Why do you tell people to vote illegally, sir? Why do you tell people to vote illegally?
I said that I was not registered, and I was here a few months.
Yeah. Oh, I remember you. You're the wife, right? Yes. You're breaking the law, ma'am. You're breaking the law. You're breaking the law. They just kicked us out.
This right here is a prime example of why we need safe and fair elections. This is why we need a law abolishing sanctuary cities and states. This is why we need a new nationwide census count. It may be New York City today, it could be LA tomorrow, but this socialist communist agenda is growing and taking over the Democratic Party. Look at cornerstone figures like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries. They're all being silenced and forced out by this radical agenda, by the AOCs, the Mamdanis. That is why it is so important that we get out and we vote in these midterm elections. We vote in our local and state elections because we are fighting for the future of this country. But it's not just Mamdani's flawed social, economic, and anti-law enforcement policies that New Yorkers are in for. There may be an even more sinister piece to his radical agenda, and it's sweeping across the country like wildfire.
I think Mamdani is practicing takia.
1,000%. 1,000%.
He's presenting
the
as
Muslims are laughing at you guys. Like this is the funniest thing. Like, dude, give it 50 more years, entire New York can be Muslim, and then before you know, it's gonna be Sharia courts, and then like y'all are. It's like it's like shooting yourself in the foot. Like I can't even believe. And like you see Europe. You look at Europe, it's happening right now, and then you're like, oh, let's just do it here in New York. Like it's like no, like you have to stop. Like obviously takia is working. And they're doing an amazing job at it, and they're fooling everyone. Like, and all the Muslims are like so happy that's happening. Like, this is the best thing that could happen in Islam, and he's gonna win because we're too stupid. Like, no matter how many times ex-Muslims will say takia is a real thing, they are lying to you. They will take over within 100 years. No one's gonna listen because we just assume that our God is the same as their God. We just assume that their God will tell them not to lie, but their God tells them to lie. That's the difference.
But are you could it be that someone like a Mamdani, he's Muslim, he's a practicing Muslim, self-professed, you know, he avowed, that's what he is. But maybe in the back of his mind, it's like, yeah, I'll be practicing Muslim and I'll tolerate other people. But the more he leads, the more for him to practice, he has to dominate. But that, I mean, I'm just saying, could it be in the back of his mind, there's a duplicity in his own mind where he doesn't realize that he's not intentionally practicing taqiyya, is what I'm saying. Or you think, no, it's like, this is a strategy.
I don't think you realize how bad it is. I don't think like they talk about it openly. Like they'll literally be like, guys, we have to go out and say like we love the gays so that we can take over the West, and then as soon as we take over, we'll kill all the gays.
You don't get embarrassed because it's the American thing. You get embarrassed in politics because politics can be a weapon to use in the world of Islam. It is an honor to die in jihad. Yes.
You want to defend this country. You know what this country is? It's a garbage can. It's filthy. It's filthy and sick.
Every day they will go to school and they'll put an American flag in front of these little babies, Muslim babies. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Bullshit.
New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, powered by immigrants. And as of tonight, led by an immigrant. So hear me, President Trump, when I say this. To get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us.
And it's crazy. In the city that just 24 years ago vowed we will never forget, seems to have all but forgotten. Well, I guess, New York, you're going to get what you voted for. I don't envy you. But if I can leave you with one glimmer of hope, it would be that he is exactly like every Democratic politician who has ever ran for office, and he fails to follow through on every single thing he promised. So there's that. Well, that's all for this one. If you like what you saw, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. This is a new channel, so it would really help me out if you could. And I'll see you on the next one.